With Memorial Day weekend approaching, I would like to take this time to recognize and thank all of our veterans and active duty members of the military. We have 4 students who have volunteered for the military branches from the class of 2020. Thank you all for your service.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, and welcome to the 2020 Triway High School commencement. I thank all of you soon-to-be graduates of the class of 2020. Parents, family, friends, and members of the Board of Education, district administration, faculty, and staff for joining us tonight in our first ever virtual graduation. Lately, we've been hearing words like pandemic, unprecedented, and social distancing. But I want you to focus on some different words. Words like accomplishment, perseverance, and tradition. These seniors have accomplished a great deal in their 4 years at Triway High School. They have gone to state, nationals, in their vocational trades and athletics. They have excelled in competitions, and they have earned special recognition in many areas of extracurricular activities. Academically, the class of 2020 has 13 students who have a perfect cumulative grade point average of 4.0. 8 students have an ACT score of 30 or higher. 58% of the graduating class has a final 4-year GPA of 3 or higher. The Triway High School class of 2020 has persevered through a year of tremendous challenges. Before the school even began, they faced the unexpected death of our athletic director, Sean Carmichael. To them, Sean was a coach, a mentor, a friend. Our seniors led our community in remembering him and honoring him in our athletic seasons. The class ended the year missing many memorable events like prom, the senior cookout, photos in the Oval, but especially they missed being able to gather one last time for graduation. Triway has a long-standing tradition of strong academics, competitive athletics, skillful tradesmen and women, and lifelong bonds. We will always remember the Purple Pride Fridays and singing the alma mater together. It may look different, but the Triway traditions remain unscathed. Seniors, you are part of our Triway community. And as a community, we will make great accomplishments. We will continue to persevere through the challenge that comes our way. We will continue to maintain our Triway traditions. Congratulations, seniors.
Good evening. My name is Nate Schindewolf, Superintendent of Triway Local Schools. It is with great pride that I address Triway's graduating class of 2020. This year's seniors are Triway High School's 58th graduating class, joining the preceding 57 classes as distinguished alumni. Although you're joining the many graduates that came before you, the class of 2020 is doing so in historical fashion. You're a part of the first virtual graduation in Triway's history. Beginning March 16th, you completed your senior year, not at Triway High School, but from the confines of your houses through remote learning. Zoom became a part of your daily routine. Your final exams were not calculated by correctly answering multiple choice or essay questions. Instead, you've answered the calls or texts from friends or family members that needed support. A positive word, a virtual smile, or reassurance that everything is going to be okay. Although your senior year has looked much different than those classes that graduated before you, your finish line was the same, high school graduation. A diploma indicates that you have successfully completed all the requirements of high school. But your 2020 diploma signifies so much more. You've overcome adversity, navigated obstacles, and risen to unthinkable challenges. You've accepted our current reality, remained positive, and focused on the finish line. Contrary to a typical race, though, there is no single winner. You've relied on each other, supported each other, and picked each other up, finishing this collective race together. Our vision of the perfect start of the school year, the perfect prom, the perfect senior award assembly, the perfect graduation never materialized. But through these imperfections, the class of 2020 has continuously displayed a resiliency that is commendable. Always remember, imperfect moments present perfect results. I have no doubt your perfect results will positively impact our community, our county, our state, and our country. John Gordon, one of my favorite authors, shared these words in a speech. Your optimism is a competitive advantage. Pessimists do not change the world. Naysayers talk about problems, but they don't solve them. Critics write words, but they don't write the future. Beginning today, you have the opportunity to write your next chapter. This chapter could include the workforce, college, or military service. Whatever your choice, your book will include revisions, rewrites, and ultimately rewards. To Triway's graduating class of 2020, on behalf of the staff, I want to congratulate all of you and wish you the very best as you turn the page to the next chapter in your lives. As George Washington stated, the harder the conflict, the greater the triumph. I know the triumphs of Triway's class of 2020 will be rooted in resiliency, optimism, and positivity. I could not be more proud of what you have accomplished thus far, and I look forward to how each of you will exemplify the Triway difference. Thank you.
Life is full of hellos and goodbyes. This is one of my most favorite quotes, as it says so much in so little wording. To the class of 2020, we said hello to each other many times, like in the halls, at sporting events, and at club activities we were each involved in. Unfortunately, after 12 years, we are facing our final goodbye and the ending to our high school experience. It is truly unbelievable to think of how fast the time went by. I know this isn't the goodbye you were all expecting, but we will always be a part of each other's lives in some way. I wish the best of luck to each and every one of you as you go on to conquer this new chapter of your life. And never forget the time that you were a Triway Titan. Thank you.
When I think over my time spent at Triway, the first thought that comes to my head was, that was 4 years ago? And the second is, how did I even make it to this point in my life? And the third is, well, what next? While I'm still coming to terms with the first question and working on the third internally, I know that I can answer the second question right now. I'll even try to do it in one word. Support. So I went the past 4 years of our lives, flying by with nary a wayward glance. Fast enough, in fact, that we may have, very politely, forgotten to acknowledge those that helped us to get here in the first place. For me, this distinguishment goes toward the teachers that put forth their effort and enthusiasm in order to aid us in succeeding with not only the completion of our high school diplomas, but with the endeavors that may be completely unrelated to the subject that they teach, merely through guidance and their own wisdom, helping us to form connections and passions that can last a lifetime. To these notable teachers, for going above and beyond to ensure a bright future for all Triway students, on behalf of my classmates and from the bottom of my heart, I thank you. Finally, I'd like to take some time to formally apologize to Mr. Augsburger for breaking my promise to cut my hair before graduation. Sadly, it just wasn't time for it to go. Congratulations, fellow members of the class of 2020.
Hello, everyone. Now, I'm sure this may not be exactly how we imagined we'd be receiving our diplomas, but the Triway staff and administration have so kindly arranged this alternative for us. So on behalf of the graduating seniors, we'd like to thank everyone involved with putting this together. This is a bittersweet moment for some of us. Is this the end of the road for some of our high school friendships or the end of our childhood? Perhaps some of this is true, but this is also the beginning of a new chapter. It just so happens to be 130 different chapters spiraling in different, exciting directions. The last few months for me were probably very similar to yours. Lots of talk of my future career or the college that I wanted to attend. But ultimately, I had to decide who I wanted to be when I grew up. But when was the last time that any of us thought about who we wanted to be right now? During high school, I felt overwhelmed, as if there weren't enough hours in the day to get done any of the tasks that I needed to. But right now, we have been giving more than enough time to better ourselves. Maybe now we could go get groceries for our grandparents who can't get out of the house, or we could finish that book that we've been working on for 6 years. But most importantly, we could be there for each other. This is a difficult transition for everyone, but we could always step in, and we don't have to do it alone. So reach out to one another and don't let this time go to waste. High school was made easier when we worked on projects or homework together, or maybe it was participating in that club or being a part of that sports team. We could use these valuable lessons that we learned in high school in our new chapters. I'd like to end by congratulating all the seniors for completing this amazing adventure. All those late nights studying or those early mornings to catch the bus have finally paid off. Even in a time like this, our efforts won't go unnoticed. So congratulations to everyone watching from your phone, your computer, or your TV. This is a big moment for us, and always remember that we are strong, we will get through this, and we are the class of 2020.
Together, 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 everyone. Together, together, come on, let's have some fun. Congratulations, class of 2020. While this may not have been like High School Musical, we still did it. We definitely didn't stick to the status quo, but we managed to bop, 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 bop to the top and wipe away our inhibitions. As all seniors, we are ready to move on to the next chapter, where it could be the start of something new. We are all excited to find our place in this world someday, but at least for now, we gotta go our own ways and really achieve what God has intended for our lives. Just gotta get your head in the game and keep working hard. Soon enough, we'll be soaring, flying, and there's not a star in heaven that we can reach. We have so many talents and so much potential to be fabulous, bigger and better and best. And no one can stop us if we put our minds to it. And you better bet on it, bet on it, bet on it, bet on it, that we will put our minds to it. What time is it? Time of our lives. Anticipation. What time is it? Party time. Let's go celebrate any way we can. We've already accomplished so much. Class of 2020, just don't forget, we're all in this together.
Today, I want to speak about vulnerability. Vulnerability is often used to imply weakness or helplessness, but I want to advocate for vulnerability in a different context, the type that comes with risk, the type that we too often shy away from in favor of a more comfortable or predictable path. The path of least resistance is often tempting, and I'd bet that we're all guilty of hiding parts of ourselves out of fear. However, when I consider some of the most defining moments of my high school career, I realize that it is in these moments where I allowed myself to become vulnerable. Sophomore year, I decided to audition for a spot as drum major for the marching band. A drum major needs to be assertive, level-headed, and bold. These qualities did not describe sophomore Zach, but I had been eager to audition since the 7th grade. I was a nervous wreck throughout the entire process, and I undoubtedly felt vulnerable to my peers and my band directors. As a reward for my efforts and putting myself out there, I was given the opportunity to serve as drum major, and it's been one of the most exhilarating experiences of my life. It's not always that simple, though. 2 years ago, I made the decision to enroll in the International Baccalaureate program at Worcester High School. This meant that I had to leave the social and physical environments that I'd become so used to. I feared things like losing touch with friends and failing to meet the demands of the program. I'd be lying if I said it was a smooth adjustment or that I didn't second guess myself throughout the past 2 years. Looking back now, however, I consider my decision to join IB incredibly worthwhile. Academically, I've developed skills in discipline and perseverance. But by ripping off all layers of familiarity and comfort, I gained a fresh perspective. I realized that people inevitably change, but that the most well-built relationships are unbreakable. I learned to have more faith in my efforts, but also when to recognize when I need to reach out for a lifeline. I am stronger now because I was vulnerable then. To the class of 2020, now more than ever, we are being shown that we are not invincible. So let us accept our moments of vulnerability, and let us have the courage to both ask for and lend support when it is needed. When the day comes for us to take our next step forward, let us take that step without hesitation, whether we can clearly see the path ahead or not. Because sometimes change requires a leap of faith and the strength to be vulnerable.
Hello, fellow classmates, families, and friends. I, for one, know this is not the way we all plan to spend our graduation. And although I never thought I'd be making a speech in my own graduation, look at me now. At first, I had no idea what to say because all I could think about was how abruptly our year ended. I don't remember my last day of school, but I also don't remember many things I did for the last time. I don't remember the time I lost my last tooth, or last time riding my bike without training wheels. I don't remember the last game or practice I had, and I also don't remember the last thing my grandmother said to me before she died. What I do remember are the friendships and the love. I remember my family's excitement for me when I lost a tooth, or how many times when I was little when we were riding bikes and they had to bribe me with ice cream to keep going. And of the many different sports and teams I've been on, I only remember the friendships and the bonds I made. It never mattered if we won or lost or how far in the tournaments we made it, because it wasn't important. I can only remember how much we laughed and enjoyed being together. And while I don't remember my grandma's last words, for me, I remember her love. I always remember how she worried about me when she didn't need to, and how she gave me the longest hug out of everybody. We don't need to remember the last day of school to remember the friendships we made, or how much we laughed, or that embarrassing time we tripped up the steps that seemed to be stuck in our memory. Those are the important things. Those are the things we need to remember.
I want to say thank you for being here today, and I also want to say that I never thought I would be in the position that I am today. 15 years ago, I was diagnosed with a moderate case of autism, and my parents were truly afraid that I would never be able to thrive in a typical school setting, let alone be a normal adult. I homeschooled most of my life, but for my junior and senior year, I went to a public school to help teach me the social skills that I lacked. Considering my elementary school days were filled with C's and D's and bouts of frustration, I was really surprised that I thrived in a normal school setting and made it to the top of my class. Despite that, one thing that constantly reminds me of my autism is my strange need for a routine and no surprises whatsoever. I thrive knowing exactly what's going to happen and what it's going to be like. But something I've learned over the years is that something is going to come and rock your boat, and nothing is static. And I learned that I had to deal with that I just had to deal with the change in plans and just keep going like nothing's wrong. Now, amidst all the craziness that is this COVID-19 pandemic, I think a massive wave has just come and rocked all of our boats. It's scary, but I know it's possible to get through. And I'm saying in no way it's going to be easy. There are going to be days in the future when I look back and I'm going to be sad that I never had a senior prom or didn't have that typical senior year. But I know that I and all the rest of the seniors this year are going to be able to say we survived 2020. After all, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Thank you.
We're in the middle of a pretty crazy time right now, obviously because I'm speaking to a camera instead of a gym full of people. This isn't what anybody expected, and it's not really what any of us wanted either. But instead of asking why this is happening to us, we should ask how we can use our class's unity to create a new normal when this is all over. One where we appreciate all that we've taken for granted. We can appreciate sitting in our favorite restaurants or going to the movie theater with friends. And most importantly, we can appreciate all of our high school memories and the classmates that we've shared them with. We can change the world so long as we're united. If there's one thing I know about the graduating class of 2020, it's our perseverance. We face whatever is thrown our way, and that's been especially true during these past few months. These are unprecedented circumstances which have led to unconventional solutions. We're the first class to graduate virtually, which means the class of 2020 will go down in history. And even though we don't have the last memories of high school, we have our memories from the 3 years and 6 months that we did experience. Those memories are the ones that we will reflect on in the years to come. I'll end with this quote by Marcus Aurelius, which I believe applies to all of us. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Thank you.
As Forrest Gump once said, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. This couldn't ring more true when it comes to the experiences we've endured over the last few months. I'm sure most of us never imagined our senior year of high school ending this way. There have been some major disappointments throughout the last few months, but I truly believe that through all of this, we are going to learn some very valuable lessons that we will only be better for having learned at such a young age. On behalf of the class of 2020, I would like to thank all of the teachers and administrative staff for everything they've done for each and every one of us. The time and effort you've each put in is greatly appreciated and doesn't go unnoticed. My fellow classmates, as we move towards this next chapter in our lives, I encourage each of you to never lose sight of what is truly important in life. If there is one thing that sticks with you today, I hope it is this. Always put the relationships in your life first. Don't let the insignificant things in life get in the way of these, because at the end of the day, what is the purpose of life without relationships? Strong relationships contribute to long, healthy, and happy lives. I encourage you to make time for your family, friends, and when the time comes, your spouse and children, because I truly believe your life cannot be meaningful without them. Class of 2020, we've accomplished so many great things during our 4 short years here at Triway High School. And there is no doubt in my mind that each of you are destined for greatness as you move into the next chapter of your lives. You are all extremely special people, and I wish you nothing but the best in your future endeavors.
Good evening, everyone. First, I want to start off by saying congratulations to you all. We've been waiting for this moment all of our lives, and I'm here to tell you that we finally made it. Unfortunately for some of us, though, our kindergarten or 6th grade graduations may have felt more real than our actual high school graduation. Not in a million years did I or any of us think that we would be presented with these situations so close to all these special moments in our lives. Although it is nobody's fault, I am sure that this is a very hard concept to grasp. Because in reality, our class received much less than what we deserved. However, instead of looking at this situation from the bad side, I challenge you to see it from the good. I, along with many others, am a firm believer that everything happens for a reason. And although our reason for all this happening may not be known yet, what I do know is how this situation will help our class to grow that much stronger. When we do have the chance to return to normalcy, we'll be that much more prepared to take on our futures and that much more likely to succeed. So today I'm going to challenge you. Today I challenge you to look to these brighter sides. I challenge you to see your full potential and to rise to the occasion. I challenge you to take this time to learn about who you are and figure yourself out. And I challenge you to embrace your failures and to get better at trusting yourself. Because every single one of us has the opportunity to make our future bright, but it all depends on the path that we choose to lead ourselves down. And just remember, just as High School Musical taught us, we are all in this together. Once again, congratulations, everyone. I am so proud of all of us, and I cannot wait to see where we all go from here.
It is with great pleasure I announce to you that the members of the Triway High School class of 2020 have completed the requirements set forth by the Ohio Department of Education and the Triway Local School District Board of Education for an Ohio High School diploma. We are proud and pleased to award the Ohio High School diploma to the Triway High School class of 2020.
Jameson Wesley Sprankle. Emily Nicole Allison. Hattie Elizabeth Carr. Zachary Allen Miller. Abigail Fern Roz. Grace Nicole Wasson. Madison Ann Morrow. Marissa Nicole Brown. Tori Tennille Jones. Nathan David Agler. Andrea Michelle Esselburn. Lucas Bryant Metz. Daniel Carl Heitz Drown. Austin Michael Butterbaugh. Tori Renee Campbell. Jillian Marie Jones. Amber Therese Morris. Scott Michael Thomas Crawford. Maisie Lynn McLean. Shanna Marie Swinehart. Bradley Neil Mullen Jr. Taylor Leanne Thomas Fath. Spencer London Schmid. Elizabeth Ann Cornelius. Christopher Lee Calvert. Crystal May Floyd. Derek Douglas Morrow. Allison Ray Doherty. Michael Bernard Allen Briggs. Allison Jane Yacaprero. Morgan Grace Murphy. Sierra Louise Kiner. Mackenzie Dawn Gallion. Madison Elizabeth Taylor. Tristan Scott Trice Stewart. Allie Dawn Manley. Jake Evan Miller. Kyle Hunter Sturgeon. Morgan Riley Spiker. Sydney Marie Sherab. Caitlin Elizabeth Lindeman. Brandon Gregory Rohr. McKenna Andrea Lynn Tepe. Lorelei Sue Case. McKenna Jean Sigler. Gabriel Logan Daringer. Elena Marie Wursler. Alexis Corrine Kurtz. Cheyenne Kelly Schaffrath. Anna Elizabeth Eisberg. Alexander Paul Merwin. Gracelyn Marie Leopold. Louis John Zabor III. Alex John Gilmore. Sean Joseph Myers. Logan James Myers. Joseph Wade Browning. Austin Russell Gill. Christian Alexander Gill. Caden Brace Campbell. Colby Jason Krebs. Sarah D. Troyer. Wanch Mahesh Khatri. Mercedes Marie Brinker. Joshua Andrew Miller. Dakota Douglas Martin. Lillian Marie Combs. Alexandra Maria Curenta. Dustin Michael Baker. Carson Tanner Miller. Zachary Michael Hoffa. Mackenzie Brooke Brothers. Bryce Alexander Biggs. Travis Lee Burkholder. Mackenzie Ann Hancock. Kylie Marie Harbert. Kyle Moats Harbert. Zechariah Owen Hirschberger. Zeno James Alton Middleton. Rachel Jane Farney. Madeline Ein Wachtel. Tyler Allen Arns. Riley Marie Oberly. Kyle Lewis Hutchison. Jesse Kimberly Hyatt. Brisa Dawn Hicks. Joseph Walter Heitz. Kaylee Elizabeth Bender. Tate Lowell Firebaugh. Nicole Ann Gayhart. Zachary Russell Hart. Jacob Roger Halverson. Luke Orlando Daly. Jarrett Christian Himes. Anthony Isaac Urich. Nathan Lee Hernkane. Braxton Nathaniel Freeman. Roger Lee Hartzler. Jared Robert Dario. Antonio Austin Lang. Ashley Nicole Dario. Logan Scott Webb. Sean Anthony Gerber. Gordon Alexander Jackson. Sataro Undo. Skylar Rayanne Barton. Chance Brody Wells. Michaela Nicole Miller. Thomas Clarence Gress. Vanessa Grace Beaverson. Zachary Eric Booker. Hannah Rose Dowd. Kiana Jade Lingenfelter. Haley Cheyenne Thompson. Robert Wade Miller. Matthew James Clark. Shelby Cheyenne Corbin. Courtney Paige McVeigh. Kaylee May Bebb. Carrie Marie Fox.